Talking about UNICEM, Rovers, and Pelican Stars, the state government says they are bringing back those clubs. There's a revival process going on right there. We'll talk about it. We also told you that today there will be a winner in the Nigeria Professional Football League Super 4 competition going on in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Talk to us with the hashtag MPFL Super 4. And of course, we talked about the NBA. The hashtag will be appropriate for it. Hashtag NBA, and we're getting ready for that big game between Manchester United and Chelsea. Let's speak of the hashtag EPL. Chelsea fans, you think your team is good enough to beat this informed Manchester United team? Talk to us. Twitter, channels_sports, Facebook, Channel Life in Sports. Okay, guys, where do we go from here? Cross River State.
Definitely.
Cecilia, when I hear of a revival process going on in football in Nigeria, I don't look at the men and say, what are they willing to do for Pelican Stars? Because and I know that club has been struggling. Yeah,
definitely. Not just struggling. I mean, remember last season, we understand the walkovers in Nigerian Women's Premier League. But when a club cannot even host home games, it becomes really terrible. I mean, it happened to Pelican Stars last season. And when you speak to some of the players, although they will tell you that, okay, I can't really come on air and say, but look, we haven't been paid for like 7 months. And so if you really want to revive it, where do you start from?
That's right.
It's not just inaugurating a board. That's not enough. That's right. What do you do? How do you actually ensure that these girls or these boys, let me not restrict it to them, are comfortable? Exactly. So I think one thing they need to understand and know that if you're running a professional league and you want to run it as a state, then you run it professionally. But if you know you cannot, come on. Paul Jones talked about how fans, supporters can actually own clubs. You can decide to throw it open and use that same model and see if the states, people from the states can actually buy into these clubs. So that if you know the financial responsibility is too much on you, then those can actually help. Because what is coming out from Pelican Stars is definitely not good. So whatever they want to do, whatever body want to inaugurate and all that, please look at the welfare of the players first, not just the people. That's right.
Okay, I saw Okang is the Commissioner for Sports in Cross River State. He joins us now to talk more on this revival process for UNICEM, Rovers, and Pelican Stars. Good morning, Commissioner. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. Good morning, Austin.
Okay, we're talking about, it's heartwarming. We love it that the state government wants to give attention to league football in Cross River State. Tell us, what is the revival process about? Hello, Commissioner.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, thank you very much. When we had come on board, when we came on board, we started with the Rebrand Rovers project. The Rebrand Rovers project was basically intended to ensure that we get Rovers back on board to the Premiership. We had suffered relegation in time past, and we managed to come up to the National League. And when I came on board, I discovered the plethora of problems plaguing the Rovers Football Club as a team. Now, one of the things we took very seriously is to ensure that we got on board, took it very seriously, and got to inaugurate the Rebrand Rovers project, which was basically intended to relaunch Rovers back to limelight. It is intended to also do a dinner for all those who had played for Rovers in the days of its glory, like Finidi George and others, and get them together to inspire the new breed of footballers and ensure that they continue to reassure them in the future that they have in football and then from Rovers. That aside, we also looked at Pelican and a few of the challenges Pelican had. I had discussed their issues with His Excellency, and I got a commitment that Cross River State government is ready to actually get serious with the business of football. Now, you also understand that Rovers was almost totally being funded by the UNICEM company, which is a cement company in Nigeria, in Calabar. But because of those issues, there were issues that surrounded that sponsorship, and UNICEM seemed to have reneged on it. So I think we opened up new lines of discussion with UNICEM. And as I speak with you, we are talking because right now I think they are now largely owned by Lafarge Africa. So it's been one step of progress to another. So today we'll be witnessing the inauguration of a brand new Rovers management team and a brand new Pelican management team. So I think those are steps that we have taken to ensure that we get our teams back on board and get the needed result with the eye of them.
Okay, outside the board you're inaugurating, what happened to the team, the players and those that have been involved in it in last season?
Okay, we intend to retain the ones we can retain, and that's basically a problem, an issue of the management team. I'm sure that the management team we have put on ground now is made up of some very experienced people in football, and you can be too sure that the welfare of the players is key to us. Even as I speak with you, even before the pre-inauguration meeting I had with the intended management of Pelican, I told them very clearly that first, before any other, the welfare of the footballers is key on our minds. Where we know that they have issues of transportation, we had issues when at some point Rovers or Pelican will have a match and they'll have a walkover because they couldn't attend to those matches for lack of finances and all of that. But I think all of that is a thing of the past now. This administration is committed. His Excellency Senator Professor Ben Ayade is committed to the welfare of the footballers and ensure the growth of football in Cross River State. And you can only wait for time to get that commitment come to fruition.
Now, you talked about welfare. We understand that last season, before your government actually came on board, there were a series of areas and all that. And of course, your government came on board. We were thinking, okay, maybe a new government, the Pelican Stars players will get paid. But they didn't. What have you guys done to ensure that those areas, about 8 months, have been paid?
Well, first, we are not owing Pelican for up to 10 months. I think after the last count, we're owing them about 6 months or thereabout or so. And you would agree with me that when His Excellency got on board, a few things needed to happen for us to stabilize ourselves in the politics of the state. So having been stable now and taken full charge, at the last count, His Excellency had given a few approvals for some of the salaries to be paid, and the vouchers are already being raised in the office of the Accountant General of the state. I assure you that just after the inauguration of the new management, that is the core issue they will have to take up to pursue their vouchers with the Accountant General and ensure that player salaries are paid.
It's very important that we give welfare and then security serious attention. But aside that, what is the state government doing? Because I know that UNICEM Rovers and Pelican Stars, they have good following in the South. What are you guys doing to ensure that there is good fan experience so they can come to the stadium and give support to these teams?
Okay, thank you very much, Austin, for that question. Now, having come on board, one of the core issues we thought we were going to do to ensure we revalidate our fan base is to ensure that we run a lottery scheme. As I speak with you, the last time I was in Abuja to see the Honorable Minister, I also visited the National Lottery Regulatory Agency Commission, which we had written to them to give us approval to run the Rebrand Rovers lottery scheme. Now, we had also approached Kia Motors and all of that, and I am sure that we are likely to have a Kia Picanto or one of those vehicles to use as a star prize for the Rebrand Rovers lottery. Now, once we start running our lottery, we know that we'll be selling tickets for the lottery, and we'll also get advert, companies, corporate organizations to advertise at the back of the lottery ticket. We are going to spread our tickets we are working with the Nigerian Union of Road Transport Workers and a few other agencies that we are going to be doing a collaboration with. And basically what we are going to try to do is once we get the lottery scheme on board, we'll basically now begin to get our fan base back, because people will begin to buy into the lottery scheme, and you will find so many people. For every match of Rovers, will have a raffle draw, and you will have beautiful prizes won by fans. That way is one of the strategies we intend to use to ensure that our fan base really comes back. Basically, once we encourage our players well enough from the Rebrand Rovers dinners, which we expect to do, we also expect that Rovers will regain back its acceptability and popularity amongst the people, and then you will find us bounce back to Premiership and probably take the trophy.
Okay, thanks so much, Commissioner, for speaking to us, and all the best with the rebranding process for UNICEM Rovers and Pelican Stars. It sounds good when we hear administrators talk about the plans. It sounds good, but then I just keep saying, walk the talk. Let's see it, you know. Particularly with welfare, you cannot rebrand the team and then you're just coming back for serious football and you're not paying players money. Then you're not ready to see good football.
I shouldn't do a worry moves or something like that because when players are on bonuses and they're leaving, you don't just bother to actually give them any more. You feel they've left the club. I think it is a very, very serious issue. I'm happy they actually admitted that those girls are on 6 months.
That's right.
6. Come on now. That's the only job they do.
That's a lot.
Exactly.
That's a lot
to owe players.
Anybody.
Exactly. Fine, they were able to offset it up to a particular point, but 6 months is still just too huge. So I love what he said. Once the body is inaugurated, the first step they will take is the welfare. Thank God the money is ready. But let's not hear it was actually 2 months or 1 month because Taraba, that's actually an example.
And even if you're letting go of some of the players that were owed from last season,
pay them
or don't get people aggrieved.
Oh,
someone has said because they don't want to pay me, then I should leave the team. It doesn't help your rebranding process because
that's not professionalism at all. That's not the Premier League. So if you really want to run a club, then run it the way it should be done. Run it the way you run because right now it's more like the civil service.
That's right.
Put them on the civil service payroll. As you're paying the civil service, you're also paying them.
I'm particular about the people who are responsible for letting these clubs go down because UNICEM Rovers, they have a very rich history. Just mentioned Finidi George played for the team, and other array of stars that have come out of it. Why would we watch such a team with so much quality just go down?
Get to the point where it needs revival.
Insurance of Benin. Yeah. I mean, that's also another example. What's happening to the team?
That's what I don't get.
Yeah, but then what is done now, and the commissioner has spoken well as well too, and we just have to wait and see if they actually come good on their promise, and because like we all know, these clubs, a lot of them are not professionally run. So that's why they keep having the same issues, and we come back here to talk about the same issues, and we end up sounding like broken records. And I know when you listen to broken records, they're very annoying. So that's why I'm not going to say a lot about this particular issue.
Start skipping.
Or you start editing on air.
So there's not a lot to say about it. Hopefully, like I said, Austin, they walk the walk.
The talk.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not sweet. It's not good for our football. It's not good for the image of the country. It's not good for professional footballers to go going through this. Okay.